Jesus, this ain't no facade. No hair on music, that beat all night. I'm so ill-magnet, them Christians erratic. That 4-5, that Bible, cleaned up, static. No underline fabric, no malice, no. Praying I'm high, praising on the low. Man down, man down, man down. Where I'm from, Jesus wear the crown. Put some respect on his name, or I'ma let the 4-5 bang. Man down, man down, man down. Where I'm from, Jesus wear the crown. Put some respect on his name, or I'ma let the 4-5 bang. God said I'm wavy, born in the 80s. The world going crazy. Jesus come and save me, Jesus come and save me. No need for lying, my God's electrifying. Y'all out surviving, he got us thriving. But this skin on my flesh still dying. So many souls out there crying. I'm going higher. In the hood, don't touch me, the kid on fire. I can slide on your block, minus the time clock. You ain't touching nothing, the devil still frontin'. Man down, man down, man down. Where I'm from, Jesus wear the crown. Put some respect on his name, or I'ma let the 4-5 bang. Man down, man down, man down. Where I'm from, Jesus wear the crown. Put some respect on his name, or I'ma let the 4-5 bang. Where I'm from, Jesus wear the crown. Put some respect on his name, I'ma let the 4-5 bang. I'ma let the 4-5 bang. I'ma let the 4-5 bang.
Here at KXVS, broadcasting from Stone Tube Studios, is the voice of Stockton.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl RawNe with RawNe Hour here at KXVS, the voice of Stockton. We have our artists in the house, hip-hop producer Andre Hillery, and hip-hop artist, local vocalist and lyricist Markis Sosa. So welcome, you guys.
What's up? What's up? Welcome. Thank you for having us here.
Appreciate the love.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask that you guys just pull those microphones just a little bit closer.
Okay. How we?
That's
we
better.
go. We good?
Oh, yeah, that's a lot better.
All right, cool.
That's better.
Yeah.
Sound like you were so far away when I know you're not.
Yeah, right here.
So I don't know if you guys can see what we got going on in the background, but we got the hoodie that Andre has on. It's all Jesus. And then the T-shirts that you see to the side, it's all Jesus. I'm going to turn one of them around. And then the one that you see off to the side that says lift him, I might have to move that one on over. But yeah, so these are available. And then if you guys get a chance, we're going to talk a little bit about this album that they're dropping, that they have released, and some singles, some songs, some music, and what it is that they're bringing to the table that's just a little bit, I guess, I don't want to say different because it's not different. It's not different. It is necessary. It's a new thing that I haven't seen in here too much. But I'm glad that you guys are bringing it.
Okay, thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Create our own wave.
Yeah, man. I mean, because you still doing the thing. It's like, and what you choose to do is for one reason versus another.
Right.
Exactly.
So this one's called Andre Hillery 147, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but when it comes back around, I'll show it to you. So Andre Hillery, you guys see on camera now.
Amen.
Markis Sosa.
What's good?
So are you guys Stockton natives?
Yeah, born and raised.
Yes, we are, no doubt. Stockton.
What area?
I'm from Mount East.
On the east side
of Stockton.
Okay, so you guys don't know this, but I went to school with, and I'm going to say Ira's out here. Y'all don't know Ira, but he's out here. I'm going to shout him out.
Shout out to Boom. OTP, Boom
We
Beats.
are shouting them out. So, yeah, go all the way back to high school with y'all. So it's really good to see you guys in-house, like, and like in town doing your thing, because I've been circulating and been gone, but everybody's kind of gone off to do their own things. You never know what people are really doing. But, you know, I remember you being in the music programs at school.
Okay.
So let's get down. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, because here you are, hip hop producer, gospel world, you know, but what brought you there? What brought you here? You know what I mean? So let's take it back a little bit. How do they know that you're qualified? No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Hey, it's love. It's love.
She started up on a Saturday morning.
Gotta keep it lit. You feel me? But yeah, you know Stockton, man. So you know Stockton has definitely always been musical. It's always been musical talent all over the city, but it's all, you know, the message. So when we was doing it in the world back, you know, getting out of high school, the message was different because we was into different things, doing different things. You know, we ain't gonna get into all of that, but anybody that knows Stockton
knows what it is.
Know what it is. You feel me? So in that, you know, it was just a journey, just caught up in, you know, street life or whatever and what have you. And then, you know, you get that tug from the Holy Spirit, like, hey, you keep going down this road, you're gonna die on this road. You know what I'm saying? So just to put it simple and plain, man, I got the call from God and I picked up the phone and, you know, here I am.
So with that, did you find yourself like doing that with others or on your own? Like, was it something that
it was basically
separated yourself from like your group of people, that you were just like, oh man, like I'm gonna have to like let them go? Yeah,
that was like the hardest part, man, because you know God was like, look, God is like, if you're gonna take this journey with me, you gotta leave everything that you know, because that's still gonna influence you back to where you used to be. So if you're gonna transform for me, then I need all of you and not half of you. And so it was like, and that was like a struggle. That was like a good year and a half of struggling, because, you know, we had created a solid foundation on what we was doing for years. And so, but you know, God keep talking, you keep praying, you know, reading the word, and then you're like, okay, this move was not only for me, but to also influence the ones that I was also rocking with at that time.
Talk about influence. Talk about that. Because that can be so strong in the negative world, and pulling people who are working so hard to like move to the positive and move to the goodness, but then it's just like that influence of the negative like just pulls them back and holds them.
No doubt.
Yes, exactly.
Talk about that and how the music has helped you push further in the direction that you wanted to go.
I mean, I was, like I said, I was a music lover, and so just, you know, just leaving everything that I knew, everything that was brought up on, I was like mostly basically just in the Bible. And I was like, I didn't even know it was Christian rap or anything, or CHH. I didn't know nothing about anything of that until God showed me, like, look, we do it on this side too. It's a different message, more positive message, and it's speaking and glorifying me and not yourself. And I was like, whoa, how do I go about that? You feel me? Like, I don't know this side. Like, I know street politics. I come from that side, so that's what I know. So I'm gonna need your help. You feel me? So it was literally like 3 years just reading the Bible and just praying and studying the way God wanted me to walk. And then I was like, okay, I understand and I comprehend now.
What music instruments and everything did you play back in the day? I
mean, I didn't play, truthfully. Like, I was not a player. I was like, I should have been on the drums, because that's all I did was basically beat on the tables. And so I still got a drum pattern, but, you know, I never really went in for it. I tried, and I was like, hey, it was too time consuming for me. You know what I mean? I was like, you know, my mind was like that, and you were gonna lose me real quick. And so, you feel me? So I still did it on tables and, you know, practiced that way. But, you know, as far as going in fully, I wasn't playing instruments.
And then, so now I asked you earlier, like this was off camera, you guys, but basically I was like, oh, how do you guys know each other? So I didn't know they were cousins. So they're cousins on the Gaines side. So shout out to the Gaines family. They're strong, they're deep, they run through here, and we all know somebody in the Gaines family.
Exactly.
So shout out to the Gaines family.
For real.
Family, you know, no doubt.
So Marcus, how did you get started with what you do?
You know, just like what you also talked about, and Dre, you feel me, talked about just the power of influence. You feel me? I seen Dre's walk. You know, I seen his walk on how he changed. You know.
Oh.
And I was out there still doing just music, street. You know what I'm saying? Street. You know.
You still thugging, still doing your thing.
You know, I don't know if it was some thugging in it though. But, you know, I was really surveying everything. You feel me? Like,
like trying to feel it out. Like, is
freelancing.
Like, yeah, is this my thing to do?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So you know, I seen his walk, but then I seen him move differently. You feel me?
Yes.
And you know, he started coming out with his sword, and the sword is the actual Bible, you know. And I was like, man, he coming outside with the Bible. Like, I'm like, man, though, you know. But I seen his walk, and I seen where God took him. You feel me? I see where God showed him just favor and love, and I was yearning for that.
Embracement
for that too, you know what I'm saying? For the actual love and the agape love. And I was searching in these streets. It's cold out here. The streets don't show no love. Like, people think like, oh, I get this love in the street. No, you don't. It's cold out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? God, he show us love and favor.
Even when he doesn't need you.
Right,
but he's always there.
He still clean us up, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, you feel me? I seen him move just totally different.
Was it a different type of confidence?
It was a vibe though, a different vibe in him though. He was happy. He was at peace.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that was but the peace that I was searching for that I didn't have. You know? So I was like, but then you know what I'm saying? God, he gives us peace of mind. Though.
Yes. Yeah.
But we have to go out there and seek him though.
Find the peace in heart.
Right. And I don't care who you with, everybody want peace.
Yes, everybody wants peace. So when you started to see what was going on with him, did you kind of say, I wanna go with you? Or did he invite you?
At first though, I was kind of hurt. Like, man, he gonna leave us at this time? Like, we making so much money out here on these blocks, and we really pushing this music. Like, we was really selling thousands of music independently out of trunks of cars. You feel me? And,
a hard push.
And when he started to like waver, but he wavered to, you know what I'm saying, God, I was more like, oh man, it's just me out here. How am I gonna hold everything down? You know how you feel lost.
Felt like he left you there.
You feel lost, like you feel me. This is my like dog though, and you know he went astray, but he went astray in the right way though.
Right.
You feel me? So at first I was a little bit tender. I ain't gonna lie, like, oh man. It's a good thing he doing, but I just wish he'd come back to the block though. You know what I'm saying? But he was on a new like wave. You know, and so like I said, God, he was tugging at my like heart. You know, I ran into New Tone. He used to be Filthy Tone back in the day. We was up in the clubs and you know, and I mean we partied and I hosted tons of parties and wrapped up tons of parties. But it was just that empty feeling though. That empty feeling of leaving a club and you feel empty though. You know, like okay, I got high, I drunk, I kicked it.
It's like you had it all. But at the end of the night,
it was
where is anybody?
Where is the substance at?
Yeah, like did I gain anything that I feel fulfilled? Like I gained somebody's shared a wisdom, a lesson, or something that it's just depleted. Everything just depleted.
So then when I seen Filthy Tone turn into New Tone.
And you're like double whammy.
Yes.
And then I seen a Rise though. He used to be, what was his
Drowsy.
Then he turned into a Rise. And I seen all these people that I had that had an influence over me somehow in his music, if it was rapping or doing beats and production or doing club shows. I seen everybody transform. You know, transforming the kingdom of God. And I was like, this has to be a sign that I'm seeing people leave pathways where at first it was good. I was like, man, but y'all making money. Y'all good out here.
It's like, but was the money substantially enough?
And it wasn't
fulfilling,
though.
Right.
And I seen these people on their own journeys.
Okay.
So then God was tugging on me, and I was like, "Ooh, but I like making music."
By taking
like
those
this.
who influenced you,
feel me?
you know?
But he took people away, but he showed me how these people grew, and he showed me that, look, if you trust in me, I can show you, I could deliver you out of bondage. You know, and you know, I was caught up in this street bondage, but I thought I was living, but I really wasn't living. You know? Do
you think that the influence of your other associates had anything to do with Andre?
It really played a impact, but at the end of the actual day, it was my choice. But you live and you're gonna die alone. You feel me? So it was my choice to say, you know what, God, I'm going to give you a chance, and I'm going to ride with you. And if people love it, they love it. If they hate it, they hate it. But I'm riding with you.
And so then when that happened for you guys, your music probably started to change a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So some of the albums that you had back in the day that you're selling out of the trunk, pertaining to the, you know, the love for the streets, I'm sure.
It was worldly, no doubt.
So then as you started to change, what did that look like for your fan base as they started to see you guys both, you know, listening to your music, what it was initially, and as you started to evolve?
Now, I'm not going to lie, people, they were happy to see me kind of just evolve and just grow. Like grow spiritually though, like, cause you know, like people seen me when I was young and they start seeing me grow. You know, and it's nothing like a person growing.
Right, it's so true. It's so true.
We all do it.
It's inspiring. It's inspiring to see people grow and like to learn and to become a better them. Yes. If you guys are out in the streets and y'all are seeing people like getting taken down, if y'all are enjoying that, that's just some hater.
Yeah,
that's some hater stuff right there. And that is like truly the work of like the other side, I have to say.
No doubt.
And you know, your day one's gonna show you love regardless.
Shout out to the day
ones. You feel me? So and that's what it was for me. When I stepped away, it was like I wasn't even doing music. I just started to step back into music, and they had the Stockton 209 Awards. And I get a call, hey, you just won an award for best gospel artist, and I'm like, what you mean? What? You know, I didn't even know I was on the ballot. So I'm like, you feel me? Like, who did that? Who slid me up in there? You feel me? So, but that right there showed me the love that Stockton had for me.
Yeah.
Because when we was in the streets, even though we was doing stuff in the streets, we always showed love. You feel me? So anybody that encountered us knew it was nothing but love. Like we wasn't cutthroat. We wasn't trying to dry snitch on nobody. We kept it 1,000 all the way through.
Right. That's your character.
Yep, exactly.
And that's the character of a person.
That's your
you
character.
see a lot of characters out there, and I do call them characters.
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
Clowns. Clowns, you know. But you see some very few that are solid out there.
No,
and you know what I mean? So it's good when you recognize, and it's good to have some of those like on your team or like in your circles. Because I don't know how big people's circles are. Mine ain't very big.
Yeah.
But I'm just...
Your day ones really is not big. You know, you probably can count like on your hand. Outside of that, they're questionable.
Literally.
Yeah. So you guys still residing in Stockton?
Yeah. Okay. I am.
Still pushing?
Yeah,
You just recently released this album, right?
Yeah, 147.
Okay, and how many tracks is on that?
There's a total of 11 tracks.
And is it all produced... Who's all
there's
like
different producers?
Yeah,
like there's like different producers, like a couple of producers from down south. You got some from California. You know, shout out to the South, shout out to Cali. You know, so I like to work with different producers because I'm I'm a chameleon, so I don't have one set style, so I have like ear for different types of music. Even I'm looking for a reggaeton, so like I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there, so I'm putting it out there. So
rotation.
Yeah. So I'm putting it out there. So if y'all got one, holla at your boy.
Yeah. So. I want more reggae in our freaking circulation because I'm like that's a good vibe to have.
Yeah, it is. I like the energy that comes from it.
I'm just about to say.
Exactly. But that 147, like, you know, was basically it was because my grandmother had passed. You know, that was like the spiritual head of our household. So when she passed, I went into a depression to where I didn't even want to live no more, to where I was like, I'm throwing in the towel. God called me home. It's a wrap.
Wow.
You know, that's how I was feeling. And so God really got up on me. And so, you feel me? So the day she was passing, I was in there, and I stayed in the room in the hospital till she passed and took her last breath. And God was like, the Spirit just hit me, and God was like, ask them what time she passed. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what you mean? Well, I don't want to know all of that. God was like, ask them what time she passed. So I asked the nurse. I was like, hey, what time did my grandmother pass? And the nurse said it was 1:47, and God said, that's the title of your next album.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
1:47.
So, yeah.
I got goosebumps. I'm not even gonna lie. I have goosebumps right now.
Just imagine being there and God telling you to do this. Like, I was lit. I was like, I wanted to cry. God was like, don't even drop tears. I was told not even to drop tears. I couldn't even mourn, because God was like, you are now the spiritual head, so you don't have time to mourn, because you got to hold up for them like your grandma would have, because they don't know me yet.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so
it's work. I'm telling you, it's work.
It is.
It's work. Whether it be for the good or the bad, there's always work to do.
Exactly. You got to grind.
True. It's work.
And it's nice to be able to have, you know, that ability to be in tune with your spirit when it is in connection with that higher, I call it God talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you have that conversation and you get a lot of messages, you get information, you get your wisdom, you gain some knowledge in a place and from a place that you would not otherwise have that. So the Spirit brings a lot to us.
Yeah. And it's not a complicated process. You know, it's just, you know, people fear what they don't understand. And when you approach God like He your Father, you know, because He created you, and you approach it as a relationship, you understand it more. But when you start looking at the biblical standpoints of it, you get into the theology of it, you know, and all these rules and regulations, you like, that's where people run. Yeah, that's where people run. And like, that's why your hardest gangsters will be like, nah, I'm not going to church, because they figure with church, it's showing a weakness, they soft. And church, granted, on this side, bro, you got to work harder. You feel me? This is where the work is at, because you got to, in the world, you worldly, you doing your thing, but when you get saved, you gotta work to stay saved. Yes, because you still gonna get influenced.
That's and so you gotta work too, like work.
Exactly,
like, man. Because people are also looking at you too and watching every move you make. They're like, ooh,
under the
you
microscope.
Slipped up.
I knew it was coming. Yeah, under the microscope.
God. But he was really on the, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? People just really have to lead by like action.
Yes.
We all could just talk, but you know, at the end of the day, what actions are but you showing out here? Actions.
And so with the actions, you guys are putting up this music, you guys are putting messages in the music, you guys are being able to put that out so people can grasp something,
right?
Where they otherwise would not get that.
It's spiritual food.
They could put it in, they could sit there and put it on in the closet, and their friends don't even need to know that they're listening to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Gain some knowledge, and you just might gain some influence. So if they're not already on to like where they can find the 147 album, can you please tell them?
I'll be uploading the 147 project next week. So if you go to my Spotify, go to my iTunes, just look up Andre Hillery, and everything will come up. But that track will be up. The whole album will be up next week.
Next week. So we got the 147 coming up next week. Trail Mix, Montrell Lee says, yes, sir, it's all about your relationship with God, and he's letting us know that you guys are some solid brothers.
So what's good, Trail?
What's good, Trail?
You, man.
We see you, family.
Thank you for, you know what I'm saying, Holland.
147. He says, God knows your heart. Share the wisdom that the people need to hear.
Off top.
Yes, no doubt.
Next week. Okay, so can you give them your handles and let them know like where they can find you on Instagram, Facebook? Do you use Twitter? Do you use any other?
Well, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that. Just just punch in Andre Hillery and all my stuff will come up. Now
I noticed that Andre Hillery had 2 Y's on the Facebook.
I did that because I got a cousin named Andre Hillery.
Another one did pop up.
Yeah, I got a cousin named Andre Hillery in Texas, and so like our names are spelled exactly the same, and so I'll be making jokes with him. I'll be like, hey Cuddy, so if you get pulled over by the police or something, I apologize now.
Just know it's all Jesus.
Yeah, it's all Jesus. You feel me?
I know. I tagged the other one, and I said, okay, I tagged it for Andre Hillery. I was like, wait a minute, that picture didn't look right. So I went and I clicked on it. And I was like, this is not the right Andre Hillery.
Yeah, yeah.
So I took it off. But so you guys,
he actually had the name first, so I get that to him.
That's right. So it's Andre Hillery, Hillery with another Y.
Yeah,
so
with
double
two
Y at
Ys.
the end, just to separate who.
Yeah, just to get the separation. Yeah.
So I put it's Andre Hillery on all handles, and then Markis Sosa. If you guys don't know him already, he's been out in the community. He does a lot in the community. Balloons over bullets and all kinds of stuff.
Shout out Balloons over bullets. Damar, man, you know, he really spirited. You feel me? That dude is dope. You feel me? He's a visionary. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. You know, Samias, you feel me? With the nonprofit. You know, passing out with books, you know, exploring and just captivating the actual literacy side.
Amen. Oh man, that's so important.
That's big, you know. Hey, you know what? We was the ones that was really catalyst behind opening up the actual library out east with the Fair Oaks Library. You know, shout out to everybody who was really pushing that.
Oh, man.
That was a hard push because that was 2 years.
I was watching that out from Fort Knox, Kentucky, and then through Missouri. I was watching it all go down, and I was like really rooting you guys on. And I'm so glad.
But you know what though? And it's crazy because I was asleep, right? And God told me in a dream that I was going to talk to people and get the actual Fair Oaks Library open again.
Nice.
He showed me which people to talk to.
Nice.
Hotech, shout out to you know him.
He really did.
Shout out to Christina also.
Yep.
Fugazi. You know.
Sophia Cologne.
Yes.
Shout out Sophia.
Shout
another alum. We went to school with her.
Yes. So it was a lot of people who would help, but God had told me to talk to these people. And see, when a person listens to you know what I'm saying, him, God, when you listen, he will open up doors, though, straight up.
Real.
And look, kids are able to go into the Fair Oaks Library again.
Yes.
And read books.
Very important.
Essential.
To educate themselves. Continue to educate themselves. They can self-educate. They don't have to have an assignment to go into the library. They can go seek knowledge on their own because the library is open and available and has the equipment that is necessary to do the research and to be able to learn and get educated. So they have all the resources out east side. Thank you so much for working on that. And I mean, that's a great push. And those are the kinds of things that you just see when people are moving from, I guess, a more selfish to a selfless place.
Right.
You know, not saying that your music in the beginning was ever selfish, but I mean, it's kind of coming from a place where you're like, oh, we're gonna make this money. This is just another product.
It was a different motivation.
That's true, though.
Yes.
That's honestly true.
Yep.
It was like I am doing this.
Yep.
I'm out here.
Look at me.
Look at me. I'm glorifying me only.
Yes.
You know what I'm
saying? When you move into a different element where now you have like a greater purpose with it, and you're using it to put like messages in the music, you're glorifying your higher power. And so, you know, they talk about God, but it's different for everybody, no matter what you call it for yourself. When you got that connection to that spirit, and you and spirit got that connection, you're bringing in that God talk, that God power, that wisdom. So, you know, the spirit is whatever name you want to call him or her or it. It's all one energy. And it's like, do you listen to it or do you ignore it?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Some people, they have the ability to say, I'm going to utilize what I'm gaining. But a lot of people are shut off to it. They're on drugs, they're on alcohol, they're into like really negative worldly things that just cut off their ties to the higher power. Because they're not talking with that higher power, they're talking with the lower power.
Right. Or you know, I'm just going to throw it out there, or sometimes people that's claiming to be spiritual also are turning off folks too, though.
Exactly.
In the street.
Say that again. No, because because sometimes people are claiming to be spiritual and God this and God that. Fake spirit.
But they actually turning folks off.
Yes.
Because they're not actually living that lifestyle. You feel me? And that could also turn folks off too. in the streets.
Wolves and sheep's clothing.
Right.
Man, oh man, you
So
got so
we
many
have
of
to
them
just
out
throw that
there.
out there
For
too.
I'm glad you brought it back to that, because I actually had that thought earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt. But when we were talking about influence, and we were talking about people like bringing God to the music, bringing messages to the music that are from like an enlightened place, and trying to lead them back, being so bright that it leads people back on that same frequency, that same pathway that you've opened it up, that they can follow it back to where it came, into the light. It's like that influence where people will say, okay, yeah, I'm right there with it, but they can turn people off to the spirit, because it's like, okay, well, what are you preaching on? Like, where they become so engrossed in like preaching, you know, where it's just like, you gotta listen, and brings it back to the ego. You gotta listen to me. I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like
it's
it
back to that
depends on who your mentor.
me.
It depends on who your mentor is, because some
Exactly.
people, I've noticed that when you get there to the church, you're talking about church or religion, whatever. It's like, okay, well, people get there, but it's like, who's the one that's mentoring me and showing me, bringing me in, and it's like, and in what context or how are they trying to? So that made me think about that earlier. And I'm so glad you did talk about that, because some people are just not the right mentors for others.
No, you are exactly right, though. And some people can lead somebody, you know, saying
completely astray.
Exactly.
Far away. Like,
that's why the Bible tells you, like, you'll know them by their fruit. Basically saying
right.
you know
right.
a person by their actions. Like when you watch, like I said, we always under the radar. We always under the gun. But if we was 1,000 then, why would we be 1,000 now?
Talk to them, right?
Yeah.
Please, let them know. You can tell them a little bit more. We got about 7 more minutes to get all your handles and all the information.
It's just keeping
and
it, you know, it's just keeping 1,000 around the board. Like,
somebody's gonna
like
hear.
if you in the church, you feel me? Our job is not to go out and judge the world on their actions, because we used to be a part of that same world.
And
you
we
feel
not
me? So
perfect.
exactly. So you meet them where they at. You love them. Like I ran into a lot of dudes that I ran into that I grew up with, and they was like, "Man, what's up?" And I was like, "It's all Jesus." They was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was like, "It's all Jesus." You feel me? And I still gave them showed them love, gave them a hug. I didn't judge them. They, they had whatever they had in their hand, or they was packing, had pistols on them and everything. And I'm like, "Look, bro, can I pray for you before we head out?" It's like, "What?" Like what you want to pray for? And they let you know the situation, pray for them, and then I'm out. I'm not here. I'm not the person to save you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I can connect you to
right.
to
open you up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I can give you a connection if you want that connection.
It's
but I don't
like
do the saving.
With some energies, like because working with energy, working with healing, it's like opening up their spiritual connection by aligning their chakra energies, because when you align their chakra energies, you align their energies enough to be open to let the spirit flow. You let the energy and that wisdom come through. It's not blocked. There's no blocked energies to allow those messages to come.
Right.
So
everything
it's in
flows.
everything flows, and that energy flows.
South, east, west. Now look, what I was going to also say too, if you can sit up here and boldly say, "I love God," you have to also love people too.
All the time.
Yes,
You
that's
know what
right.
I'm saying? And you cannot judge others. You cannot judge others.
Do you guys have a Snapchat?
Oh, I don't have one
I'm not
okay.
on Snapchat
but you can follow me at IG Markis Sosa, Facebook Markis Sosa. Follow me.
Montreal Lee says, "Good stuff. God will give you a message in your sleep."
Yes.
Wait. It's got a long. He says, "God will give you messages in your sleep." Man, he woke me up and had me write my movie Miss Ghetto America to reach people about domestic violence. When you do it with his love, things get greater. He gives you the voice. He uses you as a vessel to get his word to his people, and they need someone they can relate to. See, Grandma would take us to church as a youngster, so you will know him from the beginning. Because you get older and go astray, he gives you the breadcrumbs to follow to get him back. As you get older, you start to understand God more. Then you got to share that God word of how God did it for you. So Mario Rodriguez chops in. He says, "Amen. Nice show. God bless." He says J1740. So you guys got people that are definitely sharing their energy and definitely keeping that
it's all
strong.
positive.
It feels good to be just living though.
Yeah, that part.
Because so many people passing, so many people dying.
Man,
and it just feel good. If I have just life in me, I'm going to speak words of encouragement. Words of love, words of hope.
To keep those living.
Keep people living, though.
Like really living.
To keep people stimulated, to keep people frontal cortex is open.
Yes, I'm looking forward to putting the music in rotation. You guys are gonna get a sneak peek of 147. So while you guys get a sneak peek, it's gonna be dropped next week.
Yeah, next
and
week.
So you have on this album. Who are some of the artists that you have on this album?
It's really not too many features because, like I said, it was basically a therapeutic session for myself.
Okay.
Like, you know, because like I said, I literally wanted to check out. Like, my grandma was gone. She going to heaven. I want to go with her. Like, my bags is packed. I'm out. You feel me? I'm done.
You don't want her as an angel.
You feel me? I'm like, nah, I'm out. I'm gone. I don't need to hear no messages from my grandma through God. I'm going direct with her. You feel me? That's where I was at. And God was like, no, you still got work to do. Like, you helped dirty up these streets and bloody these streets with everybody else. So get out there and use the street sweeper and clean it up. You feel me? So
bring your own trash bag.
You feel me? Exactly. That part.
Wax on, wax
Yeah,
off.
kind of like like the International Pillow Fight Day.
Yeah,
that's coming up.
So that's what
It's coming up next. So it's gonna be the 3rd annual International Pillow Fight Day, the first Saturday
man,
of
I'm trying to get into that.
Downtown, always keep it downtown at the Janet Lee.
I'm gonna have to come
So
out
you
with
bring
a
your
pillow.
Off top.
Bop somebody across
So
their head.
much fun.
Yes, off top.
But seriously,
Bless them a couple of times
I'm
with the
telling
pillow.
you, yeah, and it's really good for the youngsters because they learn to work with each other. They learn that it's okay to have some aggression, but in a fun way.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's
Therapeutic, though.
okay.
Yeah.
You don't need to always put the boxing gloves on to hurt somebody. You could put some soft pillows together and have fun. It's okay to get hit once in a while.
Exactly.
Ain't no problem with it. You know, it's just a little play. It's a pillow.
Exactly. Take it
tougher.
You're tougher, yeah. You done backed your head on some kind of bed frame or something.
Nobody got shot.
Right, exactly.
Can't put a helmet on.
Yes, that's right. Well, I'm so glad you guys were able to come in today to share your work, your music, your messages. If there's any other albums that you want to mention that they can go and look at, because I know you got 147, but you have some singles.
I'm actually working right now on an EP. Right now, I got a couple producers on there too. T from Hallway. Shout out to Hallway.
Shout out to Hallway. T D.
I also got Bear doing like a track on the album. You know, like he
just talked to him the other day.
Essentials. What's up, Bear?
You know, he produced something hot. You know what I'm saying? Who else produced on the album? Rise did too.
Shine.
Rise and Shine. Who else produced on the album? Azio. You know what I'm saying? So right now it's in work. You feel me? But it's going to be a dope project. You feel me? It's going to be very powerful. It's going to be really that kingdom music, but it's going to make you feel good though.
That's right.
Essential music to it, and it's just going to cultivate everything.
We have some great artists that are also in rotation that are doing the same thing, and I think it's just going to be a great fusion to have your guys' music in rotation with everything. Because I don't know, you guys heard of Dion, Erupt and Dioc. Erupt and Dioc, longevity. So they bring in some really positive, you know, Soul Purpose is their album that they have, and they have really good messages in the music as well. Bring it in. You have Charles Bobian saying 209 Stockton tapped in. Mario Rodriguez again.
Stockton, stand up.
Yeah, so it's so good to have you guys here and to know that we have many facets of Stockton. And if you guys don't know it, you're getting it. You're getting it with RawNe Hour. You're getting it with Rise and Shine 209. You know, your girl RawNe is just bringing it. So we got Markis Sosa in the house. We got Andre Hillary in the house. Both gospel hip hop artists, and they're pushing hard just as any street monger would do the same. They are grinding for God, grinding for the light. So I appreciate it.
For Jesus.
Gang for Jesus off top.
Yeah, you know how we do it. God is great.
God is great. So I'm going to go ahead and put for our little outro here because we're on our way out. We have one more song. You guys heard Man Down in the beginning of the show.
Man Down.
So
Man Down.
Since we got Man Down, we're going to go ahead and head on out with this one called Made to Soar.
We was made to soar. We was made, our wings are spread it out. We was made to soar, my wings are spread it out. We was made to soar, my wings are spread it out. We was made to soar, my wings are spread it out. We was made to soar. My wings are spreaded like some Lamborghini doors. I was made to soar. I don't understand why you hating for it. Play your card. You don't like your job, why you stay there for? I stay the court. Made a position that God made me for, like yelling for it. Me and Markis Sosa about to tee off. 9 hoes in, man, we been playing golf. I was one of them lost boys. Call me Rufio. Till the Lord called me to the church like the prodigal. I've been getting bands for years. I'm not impressed though. Money can't buy me love, so I invest those. Let those presidents walk into the ghettos. Give my dudes jobs, cut the strings on Geppettos. You and me, we are not the same, I'm that fellow. Mr. Rogers in the neighborhood saying hello. Wings shining bright like the sun when it's yellow. Up like some doors on a Lambo. My wings are spreading out. We was made to soar. My wings are spreading out. We was made to soar. My wings are spreading out. We was made to soar. My wings are spreading out. We was made to soar.
You my God, you my Lord, you my King, my provider. You can grab the wheel to my life, you my driver. You saved me out the fire, you my day one rider. And I know, the devil's trying to hold me back. And I know, my soul's more precious than gold. I look to the hills where my help coming from. The streets showing no love, bottom of the slums. Everybody blowing, my mind still zoning. Focus on God so the kids stay glowing. God's word is the truth, no finesse. Love God, love people, all blessings. Blessings.
My wings are spreading out. We was made to soar. My wings are spreading out. We was made to soar. My wings are spreading out. We was made to soar. My wings are spreading out. We was made to soar.
And I know,
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 we was made to soar.
Here at KXVS, broadcasting from Stone Tube Studios, is the voice of Stockton.